he fell asleep drunk and woke up and his pants were down and one of the guys were giving him Alright YouTube, it's been a while since we talked about nightlife in Japan. This is not an expose, this is not a scandal video, and no, I was never a customer. These are just personal experiences from being adjacent in that world. Well, not me, my friend was adjacent in that world, not me. When you work in a girls bar or a hostess club, you cross paths with hosts a lot. Depending on the area, they come by after work, during events, or through owner connections. So I've talked to them, sat with them, and observed them. And let me be very, very clear. They are not mysterious, they are not charming, they are not interesting whatsoever. So hosts genuinely believe every woman wants them, their presence is a privilege, and confidence equals charisma. No, it doesn't. Not for them. Most of them are painfully boring, self-absorbent, and convinced they're funny when they are absolutely not. I say boys and not men intentionally. So one night when the store was closed, because not me, my friend's workplace was always closed on Sundays, a group of us went to a host club in Shinjuku with the owner. The owners knew each other, so the store paid. I did not pay. There were champagne calls, a big setup, zero substance. Talking to them was like watching paint dry with hairspray. They think they're idols, they look interchangeable. If I had to choose between dating a host and Michael Jackson in his later years, I'm going with MJ. At least he's interesting, he can do shit, he's talented. This over here, what the fuck I'm gonna do with that? And that's not shade, yes it is, it's just observation. That same night, one host asked to exchange line. I said no, Instagram only. I had a boyfriend, everyone knew it. So we exchanged Instagrams. I mean, just on like some industry shit. I didn't give him like my personal Instagram. I gave him like my... So when you work at these places, you make an Instagram for like your character at the store. You gotta make all kinds of social media depending on the place that you work at when you work at these types of establishments. So I exchanged my business Instagram with him. And so the next day, the messages start asking what food I like, suggesting that we go eat some yakitori, and playing the industry friends angle. You know I decline, because we all know what this boy is trying to do. He's trying to get all friendly with me and shit because he thinks I'm desperate to meet a host and talk to an objectively attractive guy. He wasn't even attractive at all to me, and he was basically just trying to get me to go back to the club. That's what they do. They ask you out to dinner in Shinjuku, and then after dinner is finished, they pay, and they're like, oh, let's go to the club. I start work in an hour, or wink wink, haha. No, bitch. The plan was obvious. Dinner in Shinjuku, then, oh, let's stop by the store. No. So I kept declining all of his offers to go out to dinner, and this guy, like, his messages kept coming like back to back, and I was just like, bro, alright, I have to block this nigga. So I ended up blocking him, and I never went back to that place again with my coworkers. And honestly, if I ever saw him again, I wouldn't recognize him anything. No face card, no style, nothing memorable. Not to be mean, but I mean, he just didn't have a special face. Another time, after a Halloween event, some hosts came by to the store. I'm casually talking with one of them. Normal conversation, and out of nowhere, you know, he had a couple drinks in him. He's like, you're super hot, do you live with anyone? And immediately followed it by, I want to go back to your house. Absolutely not. He laughed it off when I shut it down, but the switch up was instant. And that's another thing. They test boundaries casually and retreat when confronted. And normally hosts, they don't really, I mean, not to my knowledge, hosts don't really try to like get girls and try to sleep with them, because I mean, they could just do that anyways if they wanted to with the, you know, girls who actually want them. Normally when hosts are being annoying, and trying to get at you. It's to lure you into the club, not on some I want to come home with you shit. So I don't know, maybe this guy didn't have a lot of customers or something, I don't know. So when I used to interact with hosts, I ask them questions sometimes because, you know, the vibes are specific with some of them. So I asked one directly if he'd ever had any experiences with men. He hesitated and asked me back and said, well, have you had any experiences with women? And I said no, but no problem with anybody who does have experiences or is attracted to the same sex. I just would like to know. And then so he told me a story about how one day he was at like this party with like different hosts from different clubs, and how he fell asleep drunk and woke up and his pants were down and one of the guys were giving him a job. I didn't ask any further questions. I mean, I don't have that piece, so I don't know if it's capable of stopping the act if you notice something isn't right, or if you notice something you don't like. I'm gonna stop it right there. Guys, men, tell me what you would do in this situation, or not. I don't know, I don't want to offend. I'm just so curious. Like, men, can you be honest with me? Like, if this happens to you and you are not attracted to men, right? How would you do? How do you know? Like, what would you do? What would you do? All right, moving on. Hosts think women want them, women want to save them, and women want access to their world. While yes, a lot of women in Japan do. That's why host clubs exist. That's why repeat customers exist. That's why the afters exist. You're not paying for conversation, you are paying for attention, fantasy, and proximity. And yes, more. But I will not get into that because this is not 2011 YouTube, so I'll stop there. I feel like I have said enough in this video. So, hosts aren't special, they're curated. They're selling an image, and they believe their own marketing. Once you see it, it's boring. Once you understand it, it's embarrassing. And once you worked near it, you're immune. Alright YouTube, what did you think of the video? Have you ever been to a host club or experienced Japan's red light district? Please let me know in the comments. And do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Like, subscribe, and comment. I said like, subscribe, and comment. Alright YouTube, see you in the next video. Bye.